Hi, this is Anne. Today I'm gonna just play around. So what I've got a piece of a superwood panel that I painted with my gesso or my PVA acrylic house paint. I've got a metallic paint here. It's for inside or outside. It's amber gold. If you want to use this and you want to know where you can find it in South Africa, you can just ask me in the comments and I can tell you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my gold. I'm going to use a white, a craft paint white, or you can use a chalk paint. I've even got a chalk paint here, powdered wick. So you can use a chalk paint, you can use a acrylic paint, you can use a craft paint, you can use your normal acrylic paints like these. It doesn't really matter. I want to do a little bit of a crackling effect on this piece of board. So what I found is the the cheaper the brand almost is, the more it crackles easier. So I don't know why, but it crackles a lot with the chalk paint as well. And even my normal acrylics, it works fine. But just if you've got anything at hand that's even a house paint, acrylic PVA, plain acrylic PVA, you can use that. You can even use that to prime your boards. I've got a video on how to prime your boards, to do crafts and paint and everything on that. I've got paintings that I started about 30 years ago with this, and there's nothing wrong with it. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to coat my board with my gold, and then I'm going to use cold glue, carpenter's cold glue, and my white acrylic paint for now to crackle. So I'm just going to quickly cover my board. I'm not going to worry too much, as this is a base coat. You're not going to see it because it's the piece that's going to show through the cracks. So I'm just going to quickly paint this board with my gold. And then I'm going to let it dry. And then we're going to try and make some magic on it. You don't have to worry in which direction you go or anything, just cover the board. If it bothers you, if there's white shining through, you can go for a second coat, but you really don't need to worry about this layer. Just get it on. If you've got a heat gun, you can dry it with a heat gun or a hair dryer. Otherwise you can just, well, I live in a sunny country and a warm country. Even if it's winter now, I can put it in the sun and it will dry fairly quick. So I will see you when this is dry. I just want to make my paint that I'm going to use a little bit off-white. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my white and a little bit of this beige color. And that's enough. I don't want it darker than that, so I'm just going to put that aside quickly. So I've got my carpenter's glue here. It's just cold glue. You can even use your what do you call it, Mod Podge, or you can use a Crackle. But if you haven't got one of those on hand, Crackle on hand, you can use your, as I said, your Mod Podge. Otherwise you can use your carpenter's glue. Everybody's got that in their garage. So I'm just gonna put a nice amount on top of this. What will happen is I'm gonna put my white on top of this while this is wet, and the paint on top I'm gonna dry with the heat gun, so it will dry quicker than the cold glue, and that will make the cracks. So I've got it this far. So now I'm just going to take my white that I mixed with a little bit of my beige, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to try and go onto this quickly. I don't want to go back and forth and back and forth. And I think I didn't make enough. So I'll just quickly have to make some more as I'm putting it a little bit thicker on, not to mingle it too much into the gold glue. So now I'm just going to take my heat gun and I'm quickly going to heat this up. And you can see these cracks are starting to form everywhere. It still looks a little bit opaque, but as the cold glue will dry clear, it will let the gold come more to the, you know, like that one. But I'm just going to stop talking and just quickly dry this. You must just be careful that you don't burn your paint or your gold glue or anything with a heat gun, because it tends to get very hot, and you mustn't touch the front. You can even use a hairdryer on a warm setting if you like, or otherwise you can just go and put it in the sun if you've got a very hot sun and let it dry naturally, but then you will get a little bit less cracks, I think. But for now I'm just going to leave it until it's dry, because you can see it's still, let me just see if I can get that in focus, it's still a little bit of opaque everywhere here and there, and we will see when this, I can't work on top of this, I'll have to let it dry now completely. Okay, I've got a little bit of burnt umber here. I'm just going to take a little bit of this on my palette. And thin it down with a little bit of water. And I'm just going to wash it around the areas on the side. And then I'm just going to take a piece of paper, or you can take a wet wipe, and I'm just going to rub some of it off and keep the inside. I don't want the paint to come to the inside, I just want to wipe it away on the sides. Okay, this is dry now, and if you want to make something similar, make the holes beforehand. I didn't know what I'm going to do, but I know what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to make 2 holes because I want to put a hanger on it to hang it from this. So I'm just going to I decided to put one of these. I want to show you how to fill your mold with a glue gun. Just make sure you've got another one lying nearby, just for in case. So I'm going to start here at the bottom, and I'm just going to fill fill the mold. You can just do that for to settle it down. Just make sure where it's deeper you need to put more, where it's not that deep you can put less. I try to work fast because I don't want this glue to get cold and then I work again. I don't know if that will work as good. And I just make sure I go into, you see there I need it again, so let me just put that at the back. Just want to quickly fill that area. And I think that will be enough. So now I'm just gonna make sure I hope all the bubbles are out. It dries fairly quickly, but usually when it starts you can see this is rather clear now, but as soon as it gets opaque you can take it out of the mold. Okay, you can see it's still a little bit warm, but it turned opaque, so now I just take it out of the mold. And you can see I skipped a piece there, but I'm not too worried. I like the old look of everything. So what you can do now is, maybe if you've got something like that, you can just take a scissor and just cut that off. So I'm gonna paint this with my my white acrylic now. And I think I can't find my old keys, but I'm just gonna, these are also actually a little bit old, so I'm just gonna take one of these. And I'm also gonna paint it white, and then I'll just put something on top, a glaze or something on top, just to make it a little bit older. Okay, I made the wrong side, so I'm just gonna quickly make that one and unmold it so that I can use it there, because I don't know, it doesn't feel right for me. It must look like this. So sorry for that. I'll be back in a second. Okay, while I'm just waiting for that to dry quickly, I'm just gonna paint this one with my chalk paint. I'm using powdered wheat from Petite Rouge. I think it's a South African brand, but you can use any chalk paint, you can use any acrylic paint, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to paint both sides. You can see it's still a little bit warm. It's about 3 minutes now, so I'm just going to take it out. Oh my goodness, and I've done it again. I've made the same side wing. What is going on today? Okay, let me just fill that one up. Okay, I timed myself. It's about 4 minutes now. And I'm going to take it out, and thank you, I've got the right side, because it's been 3 times now that I've keep making the wrong side. I don't know what is going on with my right brain today, but anyway, I finished with that one. So I'm just going to quickly paint it with my powdered wheat. I must say I've got a lot of right wings at the moment, so but I can do something with, I don't know what, but anyway. I'm not going to paint the back, I'm just going to paint the front. And I'm going to make sure I go into the sides and into all the grooves. I'm going to quickly let this dry. Okay, I've got my piece of wire that I'm going to use here. So you can use a pencil or a pen or a piece of like this round, what do you call this, dowel stick or anything. And I'm just going to do this and take it off. I want to do a few there as well, just give me a moment. I'm just gonna make it something like this. And I'm going to put it down through this piece of wood here. You can even use your plier and just make a few curls. If you really like, you can put in a few beads as well. I think a pair of wooden beads can look nice, but I haven't got the beads at the moment, so I just need to make do with what I have. I've got this antique, it's also a Petite Rouge glaze, so I'm just going to quickly paint the whole wing and the little key with this glaze. And then I'm just going to take a wet wipe and I'm just going to touch the raised areas. You can take off as many as you want. And try and leave some of it left in the nooks and crannies or in the valleys or so on. Wonder if I mustn't maybe put that antique glaze on this as well. I think so. Well, you won't know how it's going to look if you don't try. So I'm just going to put this antique glaze as well on this one. I want to darken this area, this background area, because I want key in the wing to show more. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it on rather dark on here, and then I will just glue this down as soon as this is dry. Okay, I've got this Gorilla Wood glue. I'm just gonna glue this with my Gorilla Wood glue there, and I wanna, if I can just find it. I wanna glue this as well at the underside there, and then I'll just let my key hang from those. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this there. You can use your glue gun as well. It just gets very hard where I live, so sometimes I don't trust this gets soft, so I'm always scared it's going to fall off or something. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there and just press it down, and I'm just going to give it a moment to dry. Okay, I've got this little pearly thingies here, so you can also, if you like, just wrap them around your handle and maybe tie something on here. Then I just need to tie this. And there you have it. You can hang it up anywhere. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, I would definitely see you next time, and you must take care.